Hi, this is Swordsmith Farrier Services. My name is Philip. Today we talk about the VersaGrip shoe. It's a composite shoe. And I have today my lovely friend Jenna Harrison with me. I've been sponsoring her team, Endurance Horses and Hay, since 2015, and we have been on dozens of races. And let's talk about the VersaGrip. What was the first question? So how long have you been in the sport of endurance, and who's your partner right now that you're racing?
So I think I've been racing in endurance for about 14 to 15 years now. And my current partner, we call him Purifier. His registered name is something different that I have difficulty pronouncing. So Purifier or Purify. He's a 12-year-old full-bred Arabian. I believe he has Russian bloodlines. Very, very good racer, good partner that I've been with for a couple of years now. And he's done very, very well for me. We've done multiple races in Canada and in the US. And we just recently completed the Tevis Cup this past summer, the two of us. His first 100, my first time doing the Tevis. And we placed in the top 20. And I was really happy with that result. He was very strong and it went very well.
Okay, so what shoes did you use before the VersaGrip, and what made you switch to this shoe?
So we used a metal shoe on Purify. I believe originally it was the Kurt Comfort with the clips that you used
Yeah.
to do on him. But I found with him, he grows a very long toe. And so towards the end of his shoeing cycle, I would find that he'd become really trippy, which obviously is not a good thing in endurance. They could hurt themselves really badly. And then with a long toe, it just changes the way that everything's stretching in the legs and everything like that. And so I wasn't really happy with that. So we had switched him to a metal natural balance, which kind of helped keep that toe in check. But unfortunately for him, he lands heavier on the inside. And so with that shoe, he started bending the branches and twisting the shoe because it didn't have the
Hmm.
clips. So we actually found the composite shoes, the VersaGrip, specifically because my sister has a mare that was just showing the beginning signs of arthritis, and she was a great competitor, that mare. And we weren't quite ready to give up on competing her yet, so we were doing a lot of research as to how we could extend her career with it, making it most comfortable for her. And so obviously we found supplements, but at the same time, she was also looking into the farrier work, what we could improve there. And she came across composite shoes, and specifically then we found the VersaGrip, which we really, really liked. And so once we did a little more research into it, we found out that it's actually a really good option for a lot of endurance horses specifically. But we also then, knowing that we were going to be going into Tevis, really liked it for the fact that we were going to be doing that because Tevis is a very hard, rocky terrain, which is very, very concussive on the horses'
Hmm.
joints and their legs. And so, as much as we could do to be preventative in that concussion and helping them out as much as possible, was our ultimate goal. And so that was kind of the big deciding factor there of why we wanted to switch. And then we've just decided to stay with them since.
So this is a VersaGrip shoe. Let's talk a little bit about the structure of the shoe. It first of all has a nice inlay of steel, and that was one of the main points also that I was concerned about. There are quite a few models out there that have no steel inside, and my concern would be that the nails actually slip right through if they're used very hard through the structure, but this metal core actually prevents that. Also, it gives a little bit more rigidity to the shoe itself. If they are completely composite, like just plastic shoes, they will be quite flexible, and some horses will love that, but some horses will hate that. So this is kind of a nice thing in the middle. It also has a couple of clips, which I also always like because it gives a much higher chance that this shoe doesn't twist, depending on how that horse is traveling, and also just adds basically more stability on the foot. And in my experience, it often helps with losing the shoe, like not losing the shoe, obviously. So what we do with this shoe is we first of all grind the front corner off here a little bit to set the breakover back a little bit. We can also influence that by just choosing a larger size, one size up, and can slide the shoe a little bit further back on the foot, depending on what the horses is needing. So for endurance horses, they often need a very good breakover. Then we just hold that shoe on the foot and we mark where the foot is on here. And then we grind that off or cut that off. It's not like a traditional steel shoe where you would actually form the shoe itself. You actually just cut off what is not needed. So for the front, we would often leave as much as possible, but obviously only if they were not shoe pulling horses, which we have quite a few of, where we have to go a little bit more tight, but we leave as much as possible for each individual horse. So one of the other features of this shoe is that there's a sole guard, which prevents stones from coming in and then under the shoe in this area, which would make the horse sore or even lame and could bruise their sole. So this is the sole guard. We usually just keep it in, but sometimes if we have really bad terrain with a lot of rocks and with a lot of harsh footing, then we take this out and we fill the entire foot with silicone. And VetTech has good products in that area. And then we fill it right up to the top to make sure that the whole cushion that we put in is actually staying in place. I would not recommend this if you are riding on good terrain, because the entire shoe has one downside, and that is on wet grass it will slip. So if you have this filled with silicone, then it makes that extra slippy. So at that point we just leave the sole guard in place and just run like that. So that's the one modification we do on this shoe. So if people are interested in the sport of endurance, could they come to you and just ask you questions about it?
Yes, absolutely. That's actually part of what we offer for our business. So after gaining a lot of knowledge and experience in the sport of endurance ourselves over many years, we found that there was a lot of interest for people to get started in the sport, but they had a lot of difficulty figuring out how to get started. It's not an easy sport to get into because it takes a lot of time and commitment and dedication to get yourself ready, get your horse ready, and to understand how to do that and do that properly. And so we would have people from all ages and all walks of life come to us and just ask how they could get started. And kind of through that, we developed a good training program of how to work with people and their horses and get them both started, and training and riding alongside them and coaching them and various things, and riding and conditioning and how to do it properly. And so through that, it's something that's just developed and grown, and we have a lot of clients now that are getting started, and we've brought a lot of clients through their first races and continued, and we are now located in Bivens, Texas, but we were located in Canada. We actually have some Canadian clients that come down seasonally and still train and compete with us as well. And so, yeah, it's this sport is definitely something that is open to anyone who wants to try it. It just matters. All that matters really is that you have enough time and that you are able to dedicate and commit yourself to the training that's required to do so. But we find as long as you have that ability, then it doesn't matter where you're coming from or what age you are. Really, it's anybody can get involved.
So what's the best way to reach out to you then?
So we have a Facebook profile or page. You can look us up on Facebook. It's Endurance Horses and Hay. And or we do also have a website, www.endurancehorsesanday.com. And we will include the links to both down below the video if you would like to look us up.
Thank you for watching, everybody. It was a pleasure to have you. It was a pleasure to have you, Jenna.
It was a pleasure to be here.
About the composite shoe. Thank you again, and have a wonderful day, everybody.